got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to this third hour of Country and Western Tuesday. It's amazing. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773. 888-77-Jesse. Jesse. The biblical question for this week. The biblical question: do you pray the prayer of the heart or the prayer of the head? Do you pray the prayer of the heart or do you pray the prayer of the head? The Hake Report is coming up in the next hour. The Hake, Hake, report.com. And James Hake is on fire. He doesn't just have good hair for no reason. What the? He's on fire. From 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. TheHakeReport.com. Real fast, we have a brand new episode of the FallenState.tv coming up Friday. This Friday at 12 noon. This Friday, 12 noon Pacific time. I interview Scott Greer, and he's the host of Highly Respected and author of No Campus for White Men. No Campus for White Men. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
A lot of people get angry. They cannot believe that I can be both 6'2" and have a 187 IQ. But they try to teach us a different message, that you're supposed to feel bad. I'm just simply saying, no, I'm proud of my country. I'm proud of who I am. But for some reason, this is extremism. All these people, you would have thought that they're fairly normal before, and then these guys are laying prostrate and praying to George Floyd. The media brainwashing that's happening to them. They feel that it's racist to notice the elephant in the room, that somehow the evil white man invented the idea of war, and this is all due to Christopher Columbus. Italian Americans can only have Mario from Super Mario, I guess. They love open borders, and we're seeing this with the Afghan refugee intake. They're like, Afghans are number one Americans. They're better Americans than you.
Do you think the Great White Hope will be back again?
If he can possibly win, despite the censorship, despite the persecution, despite the deep state, I think it'd be a huge victory for the American people.
Very, very good discussion. You don't want to miss it. All right. This Thursday, 12 noon, Scott Greer. I want to go quickly back to Anthony, a first-time call out of Oklahoma. And he asked me about Jesus being angry. And so, Anthony, thank you for holding.
Yes, sir.
And so you believe that Jesus was angry?
Yeah.
And why do you believe that? Do you believe he had the emotional kind of anger that human beings have?
I don't, but Jesse, I'm going to be honest. I'm a complete beta. I really am.
Beta. Why are you a beta?
I'm angry. I'm angry, emotional. So when I see someone act like that, I only, or hear about somebody acting like that, I can only relate to myself, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And if someone does, yeah.
And how old are you?
I'm 39.
Really? And have you heard me talk about how to overcome that?
Forgive your mama.
Have you done that?
I have not. I wanted to talk to you about that as well. I'm Native American, And,
you what?
Native American.
You're Indian?
I'm an Indian.
What
we call
the?
it Native American. That's what we call it.
My father married us in Cherokee. My mother people were ashamed of me.
That's me. That's me. But my mom is angry, and kind of like you told the last caller, the Christian ones are one of the worst ones. Man, she's the type. She's on her social media, all these Bible verses, godly stuff, but in person, goodness, she is angry and evil.
Wicked to the core. And so,
She really is.
and knowing that you have become like her, because any man that has anger is a woman. He's a female. He has the identity of his mother, and that's why he must be born of the Father, return to the Father, born of the Father. Why have you put your feet on solid ground and gone and just did it? So forgiving her so you can overcome.
Well, I'm building up to get there. Like I said, I've only watched you for a few months, and I plan on doing that next time I see her, honestly.
And when you say you're building up to do it, how are you building up? What are the steps you're taking to build up?
I'm planning out, I guess, what I'm going to say, and I know she's going to be upset and react wickedly, I guess you could say, just say awful things and stuff like that. So yeah. I'm just preparing for it and talking to my girlfriend about it.
And why are you talking to your girlfriend about it?
What the?
Yeah, just I guess to help me along in the situation.
Yeah, you are beta. You real beta. A woman can't help a man. That's why you're in the trouble now. Your mama think that she was trying to help you and guide you in that. She can't help you.
Okay.
And how is she helping you? How is your girlfriend going to help you? How is that?
Just giving them advice, because like I said,
Women don't give good advice. It's not in them.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Your girlfriend is your mama. What the?
Well, she's very, she really is a kind person. She helps me because like I said, I'm full-blown beta, and I acknowledge that. I do get angry and emotional, and she's more even-keeled, level-headed, and she can help,
She can't help you.
Okay.
You're being a boy with her. You're the mama. I mean, you're the boy. She's your mama, and she resent you for that. And she loved the fact that you put her in that position, but she resents it because she needs a man to guide her. And once you forgive your mother, you're going to break away from that control. She would no longer be your mother. Your girlfriend would no longer be your mother. She's going to resent you. She's going to have a fit about that.
Yeah, and I want to get there. I want to forgive her. I want to return to the Father. Everything you say, I want to happen. It's just, I'm telling you, the beta in me right now, it's holding me back, but I'm going to do it.
I know exactly what you feel, because when my mother came out here to visit her sister, I went to forgive her, and I was like, it was fear, man. I was shaking in my boots. I was so afraid. But I realized it was because I resented her, and whomever caused you to become angry, they control you. And you will never be free until you forgive, meaning that you stop hating them.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can't have you been doing the silent prayer?
No, I haven't.
And why not?
No other answer except beta.
Yeah.
But I'm going to. I'm going to start doing that.
You should start immediately, and then when you go and forgive your mother, it's going to be amazing for you. And have no expectation from her. You don't need her to apologize. You don't need her to approve of you're forgiving her. You don't need her to admit to anything. You just say, "Hey, mother, I'm sorry for hating you, for turning me into, away from my Father. You were so mean and evil, and I resented you for it. I'm sorry for that. I realize you can't help it, because I become like you. You don't have to say it exactly like that, but I'm going to give you hints. And then God will forgive you. Don't say, oh, I love you, mother. You don't love her. You just say, I'm sorry for hating you, and God will forgive you. He would take her identity away, and you will no longer be afraid of a woman or a man or anyone.
Okay, that sounds awesome.
And you can't build up to it. You just need to see that you have it, and you will be afraid because she has control over you, but you will overcome it. No building up.
Okay. You know what's funny, Jesse? Obviously, your name's Jesse Lee Peterson. My girlfriend, I'll watch you, and she rolls her eyes. She can't stand when I watch you or listen.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got Stand Up, the song on my Apple Music. I'll play it in the car. The kids know it, everything. And the funny thing about every bit of this is her name's Jessie Lee.
Amazing. Hi, Jessie Lee. Well, that is more proof that she cannot help you. She hates hearing the truth. She doesn't want you to wake up. And when you do, she's going to claim, you don't love me. You just listen to Jesse. You don't care about my emotion. I care about yours. You don't do this. And because she's going to be loser, that ego of hers is going to lose the control that she has over you, and it's going to feel empty. And rather than her dealing with that, she's going to try to pull you back in, or she would go and find some other weak sucker to control.
Okay.
Your girlfriend don't have love, man.
Yeah. I see.
But so
can you help?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry. I just thought we were done with that topic. I was just curious about that first.
About Jesus not having anger. Jesus did not and does not have anger. He has discernment. And what people don't realize is that when you have perfect love, it doesn't mean that you can't yell, raise your voice, and deal with issues. But inwardly, you're not feeling anger about it. You're not feeling anything about it. But you have discerned what's going on, and you're dealing with it. And you have the power of God working in you. But in that fallen state, human beings think that Jesus had felt what they feel. That anger is from Satan. It's not from God.
Okay, but Jesus had discernment. Is that what you said?
Yeah, he operated from discernment, the truth.
Okay.
And he operated from the power of love, which was his Father inside of him. It wasn't that. And when he wept, he didn't weep because he was all emotional like a beta. He wept because he saw that the people could not see. And if they had been able to see, they would not be going through what they were going through.
Okay. Well, I'll definitely use that because that's the number one thing I get told by my buddies when I sit there and talk to them about this stuff.
Yeah. He had discernment. He did not have emotions. He wants you to overcome your emotions. And when you overcome anger, you will overcome emotions.
Awesome. Gotcha.
Because emotion is of the devil, and that comes from your mother.
Definitely. Yeah, my mom, I'm to the point where I don't want her around.
Yeah,
really don't.
Absolutely. Because she's evil. Did you forgive your father?
Well, I haven't seen my father since I was about 10 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, he left. He was a full-blown beta, too. So.
Yeah, but you're going through exactly what he has gone through. And I don't know if he's still doing it because I don't know him. But he was just like you are today. Everything you feel, everything you are is exactly what your father was. That's why he couldn't deal with your mother.
I agree. His mom just passed away this past week, and I don't know if he even went to her funeral.
See there? You repeat the cycle. Forgive him for not being able to protect you from your mother. He could not help it because your mother became his mother, too. He married a woman that was just like his mother.
How would I... what's your suggestion on how to forgive him if I don't know where he is? Last I heard, he was homeless somewhere.
Oh, I see.
Maybe in jail.
Just realize you're getting to know yourself, and you see how beta you are, right?
Yes.
And you don't want to be that way, but you are. And you see how you're relying on this woman that you're with. You're talking to her about your problem and all that. And that's not what you want either. but because you're so weak, you can't help it. Likewise, your father felt the same thing. He was in a fallen state. And it wasn't that he didn't love you. He just couldn't deal with your mother. And when he left, he didn't leave you. He left her. If you can understand that about yourself, it will cause you to forgive him if you can't find him.
Okay. Definitely do that.
Are you living with your girlfriend?
I am.
What up? You're like beta all the way.
I'm beta max, man. I'm telling you, I really am. But I give you my word. By next year, I'm going to call you. Everything is going to be fixed.
Did you move in with her or she moved in with you?
We moved in together. We both moved out of, because I had my own apartment. She had her own place, and then we moved in together into a new place.
What made you move in with her knowing you were not married to her?
Just the mentality I had. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I understand that. I totally understand it.
And it's even funny because we have 3 girls, too, so I'm literally the only male in the house.
You have a 3-year-old daughter with her?
No. She has 2 girls, and I have 1 girl, both from different marriage.
Oh, you've been married before?
Yes.
Has she been married before?
Yes.
Are you taking care of your daughter?
Yes.
Oh,
half the time.
Right. But so her 2 daughters live with you?
Yes, half the time.
Really? So you're taking care of somebody else's children?
Yes, sir.
I would get rid of that woman.
Really?
Yeah. That's not your wife. That's not your girlfriend. Those kids don't need you to be in their way. And they need their mother and their own natural mother and their natural father. You're in the way of that. I would move out and take care of myself, overcome the fallen state so you can be there for your child.
Gotcha. Jesse, you ready to have your mind blown on this one? Her ex is remarried, and he's remarried to my ex.
What? No.
Not even joking.
So you guys just switch sluts? Come on,
much.
man.
pretty much.
What
Isn't
were
that
you?
crazy?
Wow. Did you know him before he married your ex-wife?
No, I had no clue who he was.
And then you didn't know your girlfriend that she belonged to him, right? Before you got with her.
Yeah, didn't know that.
You're in a
What
mess,
happened?
Anthony. Get out of that mess, man.
Man, I'm telling you. When they started, me and my girlfriend got together, started dating, and I guess he was all upset. She had a new man, and he reached out to my ex, I guess to find out about me. I don't know. And I guess sparks flew. Who knows? With those 2.
Wow. Or they did it to get back at you.
That's really what I think.
Well, listen.
But they got married.
Listen.
A few months ago.
Now that you see that your house is burning down, don't judge yourself. It's God who allowing you to see this. Do the silent prayer morning and night. Forgive your parents. And he will change that situation. He'll show you a way out of it. You'll be able to just walk away and be free.
All right. I will. Will do. For sure.
And tell Jesse Lee I said hello.
I'm definitely going to. Trust me.
Tell her I love her.
I will.
Yeah.
I will, for sure.
Anthony, start doing the silent prayer. Work on your life from within, and you'll be fine, man. You'll overcome everything.
Will do, for sure.
All right, let me know how it goes. So Jesus was discerned. He never was emotional in the way that human beings are, right?
Okay.
And human beings are only that way because they're in a fallen state. They've been turned away from the Father. It's the Father's love that they need, not the mother's love. Mother don't have real love.
Gotcha. The last thing I was going to ask you was to call me beta for the kids, but I think you called me that quite a bit. So.
Oh, yeah, you beta. Beta!
I appreciate it, Jesse.
All right, but I wish you well.
Thank you, sir. You too.
All right. Amazing. Oh, let me tell you this. Nick is here. This is an amazing story that I want to give to you real quick. My producer, Nick, is here. He's also known as the Anchor Baby, and he's signing photographs like 90 Going North and getting them to you. So, amazing.
I'm busy all day now.
And Daniel is getting the phones out there, so just hold on to the caller that just called in. He will get to it in a minute. So, as I've said, I do a lot of counseling around the world. And I've been counseling with this young man that I've never met in person, but I do Skype counseling with him. And when he first started calling for counseling, he was still in high school. He's now 19. And I was talking to him on yesterday, counseling with him, and he's out of high school. And over there, you have to go to the military for a minute. So he's going to the military for whatever long it take. And so I asked, he said to me, I saw that interview you did with
Destiny
and his girlfriend.
Fiance, Melina.
Yeah, fiance, Melina. And Melina is from Sweden. And that's where this young man lived. And he said, he started laughing, and he said to me, he said, Jesse, all the girls in Sweden are like that. He said 99% of the girls in Sweden are sluts. They are sluts. And I, really? And I asked him about it, because this girl that I interviewed, what's her name? Melina, said that there's no Christianity in Sweden. Mm-hmm. That Christianity doesn't exist, so she doesn't even know about it, right? And so, because it was awful seeing her with no values at all. She admitted to having sex with 50 men and women. If I had done something like that, I wouldn't even admit it. What? No. Some stuff you just don't admit, you know what I mean? No one can do anything about it anyway, but gossip about you and try to hurt you. But, and so that was very interesting, that interview with both Destiny and his fiance. So I was asking this young man about, he's like, 99% of the women in Sweden are sluts. I'm like, really? And I asked why. He said, because there is no Christianity. They don't teach Christianity over here. And if they do, it's just intellectual stuff, hooping and hollering, throwing up hands, but they don't really do it. And in his school, he said that they teach you socialism. The teachers teach you what they want you to know about socialism. They don't teach you about anything else. And he was telling me that over in Sweden, and I was telling Nick about this morning. That's why Nick has some amazing stuff to show me, and I want to share that with you. So this young man in Sweden was telling me that over in Sweden, that the girls are all sluts. It's about 99% of them. And the men are weak. 99% of the men are weak. And that the girls are desperate for a man to a point that they welcome illegal alien men into their country, the Muslims and other illegal aliens from Africa and everywhere, because they're looking for a man. And because they are so slutty, they think sex is love and all that, they're like having sex with the illegals, like 90 Going North, and are proud of it. He was like, it's a mess over here, Jesse. So I asked him what helped him not to be so secular. And he said his father taught him not to be that way. And so he's growing up not to be that way. His father's a baiter, he said, but at least he taught him not to be like that. And so I was telling Nick about that. And he talked to me about a whole bunch of other stuff about how Sweden used to be a Christian country, and a lot of the white people fled the country and left because they were taking away Christianity and the values were disappearing. I And he was like, Jesse, in my school, whenever I disagree with them about abortion or anything, they wanted to kill me. They literally wanted to kill me. And so, Nick, I would tell you about this story, and you brought up some other stuff that's happening over there that I didn't know was that deep.
Well, when you mentioned the refugee thing, it totally reminded me of a bunch of things I've seen online. There's a whole – I've seen examples, and there's a bit of a culture of women fetishizing refugees, and it's more common than you think.
Right.
And I kind of put together a few of these examples because you hadn't told me about this before. You told me this morning.
Right. I just happened to tell Nick about it in our meeting this morning because I talked in the counseling session. I had this conversation with this young man that lives in Sweden, and he wanted to get out of there. He wanted to come to America, and he talked about how sad it is to see America going down the same road that Sweden has gone down by getting rid of religion or Christianity and destroying the men and putting the women in position. And he said that that's the Karl Marx way of bringing in socialism, is to get rid of Christianity because Karl Marx hated Christianity. And he knew that if he could destroy the men and bring the women in the forefront, that they could help usher in socialism. And they did that in Sweden. But anyway.
This is true. In fact, specifically, the sexual liberation of women is a big tenet of enacting socialism and communism in a nation.
Amazing.
Yeah. And so what you were saying about women being into and having sex and being into the refugees because of a misplaced need for a man?
Yeah, they're looking for the men, but the men in Sweden, 99% of them are beta.
Well, you might know this about Sweden already, how a lot of refugees came in and the rape statistics went through the roof.
Yes.
Well, if you just do a quick Google search, in fact, just before even that, if you just do a quick Google search of refugee like support groups or refugee protests or anything, you just get image after image of women. Women predominantly, they support these refugee like initiatives. Refugees welcome. In fact, this is one from Sweden. That's the Swedish flag. Refugees welcome, and it's just picture after picture of women. They very commonly support these kind of initiatives.
Amazing.
And so you might remember how Julian Assange, WikiLeaks guy, he released these statistics of Sweden and showing how their rape statistics were through the roof when they were the number one European country to let in refugees.
Wow, Sweden was?
Yeah. That caused a lot of attention and uproar.
Yeah.
But despite that, and this is from Time magazine, despite that, Swedish feminists in Sweden, they urged for fairness in sexual assault cases in Sweden concerning refugees. They're like, we got to be fair.
Meaning that they don't want to accuse the men of being raping them.
Yeah. In fact,
they want the man.
Yeah. In fact, Tina Rosenberg, she says it's very dangerous to racialize sexual harassment. And she's the founding member of Sweden's Feminist Party, basically defending the rape refugees, right? And so it reminded me of this one picture, and this is a mural in East London. And this mural was painted up in East London in around 2017. And it reads, sex with refugees is jasmine-scented and beautiful.
Wow.
It's sick. So there's this huge mural.
No wonder Destin is over there.
It's this huge mural in East London. And, of course, I get this from The Guardian. And this woman reporter, Jade Jackman, is loving it. She's like, this is poignant and just like loving the whole idea that this was even up in London.
Wow.
Yeah. And I do have a few other examples.
Okay. When I come back, we'll finish those examples. When I come back, I will also open the treasure chest on D-Live and take more of your calls. Back in a moment.
Said, honey, I don't know what you're fussing about. If you ain't happy here, you can just move out. She's out of here. She's out of here. She really made it clear. A woman has no fear.
I want to say to the ladies around the world, God wants you to return to Him as well. You have to forgive Go forgive your mother so you can overcome her, get over her nature, and love your fathers, meaning don't hate your fathers. Because when you hate your earthly fathers, you're not going to be able to know God. You can't return to the Father, the spiritual father, and hate your physical father. Girls need fathers as much as boys need fathers. Girls can't be girls unless they have the direction of the father, the love of the father. Really, God will take away that crazy mindset that you have that's all over the place, emotional and stuff like that. And he will give you a logical mindset and draw you in. So go forgive your mothers and return to your fathers.
Just to pay the rent was hard for the man. He never let that mandolin touch upon broker's hand. Under the Double Eagle was the first song he would play. Then Faded Love, Amazing Grace, I'll fly away.
Welcome back. The treasure chest is now open on D-Live. And I'm going to get to them in a minute. We have to finish this story about what's happening in Sweden. And that it used to be, at one time, it was a Christian country. They have removed Christianity because of Karl Marx theory. And this young man knew all about Karl Marx, too. He's a real smart guy because that's what they teach over there. They teach us in the school. And so they have removed Christianity. They have destroyed the men. According to him, the men are weak. 99% of the men are weak, and 99% of the women are sluts because the men are weak. Even women who are married are sleeping with the refugees because their husbands are weak.
Wow.
And so over in Africa, maybe we need to let these Haitian men know that. Maybe they'll leave here and go over
to
there.
Sweden.
No wonder there ain't no white women around here. They're all over in Sweden.
You can get you a white woman to go to Sweden.
I'm telling you. And so he was telling me that the women are sleeping with the Africans and the Muslims and any man that come because they're looking for a real man. And they have no values because they have not been taught Christianity in their homes or anywhere. And so Nick has some backup of that.
Yeah, I just finished telling you about how Swedish feminists were defending basically rapists in Sweden, despite skyrocketing rape. How women were defending this mural we just showed in East London, saying that sex with refugees is jasmine-scented and beautiful.
Amazing.
And I just remember other things that I just, following this vein, I remember seeing this online hashtag, and it's this on social media, on Twitter and stuff, open borders and open legs. It's sick, but it's real. And there's this it seems to be like a group out of women in many different cultures that seem to get into this like misplaced love for men in that way. Oh yeah, this one is a dirty one. This is from Canada. This protester. I blurted out because it's that says my thing is open as for refugees.
She said my cat is open for refugees.
Yeah.
What a slut. She all happy about it. Look like a politician. My cat is open for refugees. Her legs are open.
So when you said that this morning, I got plenty of examples for you. You reminded me also of that show, 90 Day Fiancé.
Yes.
On TLC. And I remember seeing, there's a couple of women on that show who find refugee men or immigrant men from like Africa or like Jamaica and stuff like that. And I noticed that it's for the same thing, that they get this misplaced, like, oh, they were heartbroken before, they're looking for a real man.
Yeah.
But they end up having to take care of the man because he doesn't work or they cheat on him.
Amazing.
It's just an anecdote from the show.
Yeah.
And this one's another interesting one here. I'll end with this one. This one's from Breitbart. And this story got some attention in 2016 because activists in this migrant camp in Calais, which is in France, they were accused of sex tourism and sexually exploiting migrants. with many attempting to justify the relationships as normal. So this refugee activist group called Calais for Care, or Care for Calais, which is, we have a picture of it. It's mostly women. They were found to be having sex with a lot of the migrants they were supposed to be taking care of.
Really?
And this got some attention back in 2016.
Amazing.
And according to a lot of people familiar with the story, see, that's one of them. According to a lot of people familiar with the story and to Breitbart, it says that the allegations are not new within the large networks of left-wing activists and volunteers who regularly travel to these refugee camps. It's a known thing, apparently, according to Breitbart. It's a known thing that these migrant activist groups are known to be rife with, like, there's sex going on between the activists and the migrants or refugees.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they're proud of it because they have no shame about being wrong. And the reason they have no shame because their parents are not teaching them that. And Christianity doesn't exist. And my PR guy just texted me and said the taxes in Sweden are outrageous. Everybody's on some form of welfare. But what really stood out for me was, not really stood out, but I had no idea that these women were desperate for men. They were having sex with the refugees looking for a man. And also how they had used the woman, and it was part of Karl Marx's idea. And Karl Marx was the socialist guy, right? Communist guy, back in the 1800s.
Correct.
And he hated Christianity. According to the report, Karl Marx was so evil, his family thought he was possessed. Really?
I never heard that.
Yeah.
I heard you say that the other day, but I never knew
They
that.
thought he was possessed. And so one of the ways that he bring in socialism is by destroying the men and bringing the women in, putting them up front. And I'm not surprised to hear about that because I knew that evil came through the woman. The gates of hell is through the woman, right? And when you think about what's happening in our country, ever since the women started to take over the homes, the schools, the government and everything, it's just been hell. And more socialism and more socialism and more socialism. And now they're like pushing the women to be in government. I mean, every time I look around, some woman is running for a position in government, the police department and everything. So if this continues, then we will have socialism in America to a higher degree than what it is. And this young man was telling me that it's sad to see America going down because he really loved America, and that that at one time America was so respected. When people look at America from other parts of the world, it was so respected because of Christianity and the way the American thought and the freedom and the Constitution. And now they're looking at America and they see it going down the same track, a road that they have gone down, and they hate to see that happen to America.
Wow.
Amazing stuff. You had one other video you would tell me where some woman was feeding refugees?
Well, you see, I couldn't
some
find
man
it.
Or something?
I couldn't find it, so I don't want to say too much. But maybe some of you viewers out there may have seen this. And it's a video of a white woman helping a migrant, and I don't forget where exactly.
Oh.
And I forget if she's feeding him food or giving him water, but he's all pitiful and like he's all like, hunched over. But he walked there. He has hands. Like he's definitely, I'd say he's definitely playing it up because he's all hunched over. He's like, please give me water. And the woman's like giving him water, and then he starts like touching her, and it's like sick.
Wow. One thing I noticed about white women, they love to save black men, the pitiful man. They're ready to do it.
Yeah.
And then the men just rip them off, take advantage, cheat on them, beat them up, take their money and everything. One last story, and we got to keep looking at this Sweden thing because I'm learning now how socialism really comes in and what happens. And now it explains why they hate Christianity even more so, because Christianity, the real Christianity, would stop it. It wouldn't allow it to happen. And I asked this young man, did you think America, because he wanted to come to America when he's done in the military over there. And I asked, do you think America will ever turn around? He's like, yeah, I believe so. I'm like, why? Because America still has some Christianity left. And he's thinking that if it really got bad, or when it get bad, the Christians going to join forces and stop it. That'll be interesting. Because the Christians are so intellectually into the Bible, I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. But we'll see. This story about Apple. Wall Street Journal have Apple is working on an iPhone future to help detect depression.
You heard about this? You're going to have a little
This is
expert.
from the Wall Street Journal.
You're going to have a little expert in your pocket, a therapist in your pocket. And it turns out Apple's working with UCLA to see if sensitive data like facial expressions could signal mental health concerns.
Wow.
Yeah. In fact, I think we have a prototype of the future iPhone. I saw somewhere. I think I saw it somewhere. It says, imagine if your phone was like this. It detects that you're depressed and starts dispensing little antidepressant pills.
That's what it's going to do?
You did that. That was my artist rendition of a future iPhone prototype.
Can you imagine you turn on your cell phone in the morning and it looks at you and says, "Oh, you're depressed. Here's a pill."
Jeez, and the worst part is that that's almost not even that crazy to think of.
Amazing
that it would happen.
Amazing story. We're going to keep up with the Sweden story for sure because I interviewed that girl with Destiny and I was stunned. I had no idea, but it also showed me how low a human being can go with no values. With no values. Mm-hmm. Amazing. Thank you, man.
Right on.
Let's go to Derek out of Virginia. Derek, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
How you doing, Mr. Peterson?
All is well, sir. Thank you for calling.
Yes, sir. I wanted to, first of all, say hi to you and appreciate all your work. It's like my third time calling.
Thank you.
I talked to you last time about my daddy, that I got to talk to him and that I got a chance to forgive him and, all of that. And we've been doing real good developing our relationship. But the main subject I want to touch on, Mr. Peterson, is about Jesus and him being, angry, because a lot of people struggle with that depiction.
Right.
I'm reading right here in the book of Hebrews, and it says right here in the 2nd chapter, the 14th verse, it says, "For as much then as the children are partakers of the flesh and blood, he also likewise took part of the same, that through death he might destroy him that had the power of death, that is the devil."
Yeah.
And what that passage is explaining is that Jesus, when he came down here to earth spiritually born through his mother's womb, he was still in a human form. So he still experienced living life. He still experienced different feelings. And, like when they was in the temple selling the goods and he smacked the table over. And it's just like that time when he was in the garden and those soldiers came to get him and he started praying to God. He said, Father, why have you forsaken me? Please let this cup pass. He showed then and there at the time that he, was human as well. He had to be human to come down here so he could relate to us. That's why I say, for as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he also likewise took part in the same. See, he still knew he was God's son.
That was his purpose, to come down in a body, in a human form body, right? But within him, his Father was with him. So he had the Spirit of the Father working through him in order to defeat Satan, to buy us back, because Satan was wrong for taking him. He had no sin. He hadn't done anything wrong. And so he had to go through that so that he could buy us back from death. And he did that. But he was, as you will find out once you're born of the Father, you will see the Spirit of God in you. It won't make you God, but it will make you a son of God, and he will work through you. So he did come in a human form, but he was of his Father God.
Right. And also the word that you were talking about, people can research the word. It's called indignation. You have what you call righteous indignation. God is not going to strike you down if somebody try to bust your door down, come in and rape your wife and your family. That's called righteous indignation. And that's what Jesus was displaying. He was displaying righteous indignation for those people selling goods in his father's temple. And
well, the
I
most
was talking-
important thing, he didn't do it with anger. And I want people to understand that because they've been told that he had anger, and he did not. You only have anger in that fallen state because anger is of hate, right? But once you overcome that, you also overcome that emotional stuff, and you become dispassionate, which is real love.
Well, Mr. Peterson, I personally appreciate you encouraging people to have forgiveness.
Yes.
Because we struggle with that so much as human beings. We
Yeah.
always want to take revenge in our own hands. And it's helped me, get along better because it was really burdening me not being able to tell my father that I was sorry and explain to him that now as a man,
Yeah.
I see what he was trying to get me to see. I see it now. So sometimes my eyes are shut and they just have to be open. So I really appreciate you coming on every morning and trying to keep people awake and open people's eyes because we really are living in the era where the church has slid away from the gospel. It's called the apostate. The church is in an apostate mind right now.
No.
They still believe we're going to be raptured out of here.
But
they don't pay
our
no
bodies are the temple of God anyway. In us, he dwells, and that's where we should look for him from within. But Derek, thank you for your call, man. I got to run. I appreciate it.
Okay, for sure. Mr.
Thank you,
Peterson. Have
brother.
a good day.
You too. Amazing. Let me go to a first-time caller out of Los Angeles, Richard. Richard, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning and yeehaw.
Hey, all is well, Richard. How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted
No man
to
is
call
good,
and-
but all is well.
Thank you, sir. I forgot about that. I try to be good by spreading your word, and that's why I'm calling because I got a friend. He's a mega beta. Okay, like full on loves the vaccine. Doesn't care about abortion, and I tried to play just a little segment of your explanation of why women have that evil emotional side to them.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, he made it through about 15 seconds and recoiled like a snake, like actually backed up away from it like it hit him in the face.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, not every woman's evil, blah, blah, you know what I mean? And he just could not take it.
Right.
And then I had a girlfriend, same way. In fact, she broke up with me because of it. She just could not grasp what you're trying to explain. And I don't know if I'm trying to explain it just like you do, but I don't know if I'm messing it up. And is there a way to get across to these people, or are some people just too locked up in their echo chamber of their brain to open up to?
Yeah, you are. First, you become an example of what you're trying to tell them, and you will see what to say to them and when to say it. And if they don't accept it, you would not hold it against them. You would not try to force it on them. You would just let them suffer and die, and hopefully they'll cry out to God and find their way. But most people are not seeking the truth. They're not ready for it. They don't want to hear it. At least the spirit that made a home in them do not want to hear it. And so you can't force them to be that way, but just don't hold it against them.
Yeah, I don't. I understand that they've gotten bad information. On to your Sweden thing, though, man, I've been there, and you ride the train there, everybody's got purple and green hair. The guys are all pierced, like through their eyelids. And, I mean, and the women, not only are they sluts, but they're like, I mean, they'll join in with groups to have sex.
Yeah, I heard that.
Just sleeping with guys. It's like even if they're like a twin sister, they'll both jump on a guy. It's really nuts there since they've lost Christianity.
And they don't see, according to what I'm hearing, they have no shame. They don't see anything wrong with it because they have not been taught Christianity. So they have no value. Satan is their daddy all the way. Even though they're having sex with all these immigrants, all those immigrants, they are looking for a father's love. They don't realize it. They know they're not getting it from the men in Sweden, and so they think that those men that are illegally coming in are strong men, and they think that they can find it in them through sex, and it's just not going to work that way.
But when I was there was like guys, packs of guys that have like rape gangs where there's like 8 or 10 guys in a group that are all Muslim, or from another country. You can tell just by what they're wearing and their beards and everything.
Yeah.
And they'll follow women around and then rape them. And the women don't care. They don't even report it.
I know.
They're looking for it. It's really
Nick
crazy.
said that. Amazing.
I wanted to get your opinion on something, though.
Real fast.
How do we change the DOJ and FBI so that they'll start actually investigating the stuff that groups like Project Veritas and other investigators
by voting out the weak Republicans and weak Democrats and voting in men that will work for us and not against us. And once we vote in the right people, they would take care of all that. They would take out those people, bring in people.
I worked on the Elder campaign, but the Dominion voting machines are going to steal it from us every time in California.
But don't give up.
And everybody pretends like it doesn't work.
Right, but don't give up. You still try again, stay on your head about it, and God will help us through this. It's not over yet.
All right.
Richard,
God bless you, Jesse.
Thank you, man.
Sir.
I appreciate your call.
I appreciate what you do, man. Really.
Thank you. The Hake Report is coming up at 9 a.m. at the top of this hour right here, coming up from 9 to 11 at HakeReport.com. Super Chat and D-Live.
Super Chat.
Super.
All right, let's check it out. We've got from D-Live, Silosopher with a couple of diamonds. No message. Thanks.
Thank you.
Exit the Life from Streamlabs says, trying to recover from my beta ways. Thank you for speaking the truth in our world of lies.
Yeah. We got to put the truth out there to overcome the lie. Okay.
Jur Animo from Streamlabs says, non-Christianity is not only ruling in Sweden, socialism, which is nothing other than the ism of Satan, has taken over all of Europe. Today, all the, quote, white countries there have been deceived by Satan now.
Yeah.
That is why the silent prayer is censored on the German Facebook.
Amazing.
Let's see here. Silosopher snuck in another diamond there. No message. Thanks.
Thank you.
Evgeny Crosby with a diamond from D-Live says, send those Haitians over to Sweden and Canada. Bye.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, guys, you can get as much sex as you want over in Sweden. They'll figure a way to get over there, believe me. Okay.
And the top contributors today on D-Live were Silosopher, I Am Frank Wright, and Stephen Absolution. And the luckiest followers on D-Live, the welfare recipients. We opened the treasure chest. You heard it. The sound effect was made. The welfare recipients are Mitch Reese, Kid Combo, Kilo Alpha 1, Red Pill, Misty Slayer, and Arch Nuka, I think is how you'd say that. And Trovo, from Trovo, top contributors, Ledge Klinger, Lin Yan Chin, Beta Troll Destroyer, and Seal C. And with that, that's all for now. Thanks, guys.
Thank you all. I appreciate that. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Tomorrow I have a story for you about Cleveland, Ohio, I believe, and what's happening with Jesus over there. I think Maze would love this story. Is it her hometown? So we have that and other stories that I can't get to today, but they're so amazing. We will get to them tomorrow. Let me go quickly to Niger out of California. Niger, welcome to the show. Thank you for holding you on the air.
Hey, thanks, Jesse. I know you don't have too much time.
Yes.
Because of the Hake Report at 9. I just wanted to say, I've been working through a lot of anger over the last couple of years. What I mean by working through is, I forgave my mother, I forgave my father.
Yeah.
And almost became like peers of them instead of, the son, which I'm still their son in title.
Right.
But, I've almost become their peers where now they'll seek out my advice on a lot of things that they're going through.
The child becomes the parent becomes the child.
Exactly. But, I'd be lying if I said, I didn't still have some beta traits.
Right.
One of which was to still have sex out of wedlock. That's something that, I definitely feel a lot of shame for, and something that I've been struggling with. So, especially in kind of like the Western society.
Are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
Yeah, see, I've also been dropping the ball on that as well.
Yeah, that's why you're suffering. Here's what you do. It's about your soul. It's not about the sex. Try not to do it, but if you find yourself doing it, don't judge it at all. And do the silent prayer, and God will take the sex thing away from you. He will give you control over that. You can't make that happen on your own. It's about your soul. It's not about the sex. So stop judging yourself. It's enough to know you want to overcome it. The power of love, which is of God, will cause that to happen. But you got to do the silent prayer, otherwise it's not going to happen.
Well, see, that's the thing I've been screwing up, is because every time I do, I'll...
Check. I had to get on the track one time. Joel Friday here. Check. Look, stand up. We got fighting to do. We gotta show him who boss. He put a Viking in you. He put that lightning in you. Igniting the truth. But you beg and blame and lie and hate and never wanna stand for the truth. So what you planning to do? You understand in the move? You better go talk to your mama. Better stop at the drama. Better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if you don't, then we lose. And then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa.
So you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause you must know that so you get something went wrong, but
I have books that are amazing. I highly recommend you get them. 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success Guide. Even if you're not starting a business, but you have a job, or you're on welfare, it can help you if you do. Be doers of the word, all right? From rage to responsibility. From rage. That's what I write about in the first chapter, especially how I overcame. Scam. How the black leadership exploits black Americans. They are using them, and blacks are too willing to be used. And then my last book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. They are all amazing books, and they are helpful. Go to rebuildingtheman.com if you want an autographed copy, or call 800-411-2663. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married, and the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good, or they'll make her angry. And the woman's going to have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature.